As Dooku is being held hostage on the planet of Florum, Hondo offers a deal with the Jedi to buy the Sith Lord. In the end, Dooku managed to escape. But what if the Jedi had accepted the deal and bought Dooku? How would this change Star Wars history? As you're about to see, a lot changes. We are not going to go down the road of Hondo being devious and robbing the Jedi of the spice, because that leads us to a dead end. Instead, we're going to assume that the transaction goes smoothly, and as a result, Dooku would be brought in front of the Jedi Council. Palpatine, having witnessed the deal take place, would ensure Dooku would not reveal his true identity. As a result, Dooku would be locked in galactic prison. Not for long, however, as Sidious would break him out using his considerable wealth and Sith abilities. The Jedi Council would send the Kifar Jedi Master Quinlan Vos to investigate. Although Sidious had not come into contact with many items, Vos would be able to use his psychometry to observe the footprints leading up to Dooku's cell. He would conclude that whoever had broken out Dooku had already left Coruscant via a ship. This would force the Jedi Council as well as the Coruscant Underworld Police to ensure that all people coming in and out of the planet would be thoroughly monitored, including their midichlorian count. Meanwhile, Sidious would be expressing his annoyance at Dooku for being so easily captured, and forcing him out of Coruscant, and cackle how he would soon have a much more powerful apprentice. Dooku would internally rage at this statement, as he knew that to overthrow Sidious, he could not do it on his own. After being tortured, Dooku would travel to Dathomir, meeting with Mother Talzin. Remember, at this time, Dooku still had good relations with the Night Sisters, as he still had Ventress as an apprentice. The Night Sisters would agree to this alliance. However, this would soon fall apart, as Sidious would order Dooku to dispose of Ventress. This would force Dooku to revert to another plan. Not wishing to aggravate the Night Sisters any further, this would force Dooku to get in touch with the Jedi Council, although he could not do this directly, so would ask a bounty hunter to send information. Grandmaster Yoda would consequently go to Dooku's home planet of Serenno, curious as to why the information had led him here. As Yoda landed, he would notice Dooku walking towards his ship. Searching through the Force, Yoda noticed that the same darkness he had felt from Dooku on Geonosis was no longer there. Dooku would greet Yoda like an old friend, much to Yoda's surprise, but the Jedi Grandmaster would also sense some desperation in his former Padawan. Dooku would talk about how the Jedi Council had not adapted to the Sith, and how they had all been deceived by Darth Sidious. Just as Dooku was about to reveal the identity of the Sith Lord, he would be met by 2 red blades through his chest. There stood Darth Sidious, with his imposing hood. He had sensed his apprentice's treachery in his own discussions with the Night Sisters. Yoda would immediately escape with Dooku's body, sensing the Night Sisters would be arriving at any moment, much to the annoyance of Sidious. Dooku, with his last breath, would reveal that Palpatine was the Sith Lord they had been looking for, and Yoda would rapidly make his way back towards Coruscant. The Jedi Council would stage an emergency meeting, and decide to send the whole Council, as well as a selection of Masters and Knights, knowing this was the battle to end the war. As the Jedi cruiser landed on Serenno, the Night Sisters would begin to fire at the Jedi. However, without the waters of life on their home planet of Dathomir, they would struggle against the Jedi, with only those trained in combat being able to pose a threat to the Jedi. Just as the Jedi thought they were on the verge of victory, Sidious and Grievous would emerge. Many of the Jedi balked at the sight of the intimidating duo. This surprise allowed for Sidious to summon a wave of Force lightning at the Jedi, which either incinerated or injured most of the Jedi. Obi-Wan, Plo Koon and Kit Fisto would immediately spring towards Grievous, whereas the other Council members and Anakin would draw the Sith Lord. Grievous would eventually be defeated through Plo Koon's Force Judgment, as well as Obi-Wan's Sorasu. Sidious, meanwhile, was needing to use every ounce of his abilities to stay alive. Using Force storms and tempests in an attempt to isolate the Jedi, Sidious would eventually succumb, with Anakin dealing the killing strike. Meanwhile, back on Florum, Hondo and the pirates would drink to a job well done. That is it for What If the Jedi Bought Dooku. Thank you for suggesting this idea in the previous video. Please like this video and subscribe for more What Ifs. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd like to see next. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.